Anna Riscazio pure. Luisa delega Salvatore. Ok, e pure Paola c'è, va benissimo.
Now that you finished the General Assembly, I would start quickly with something from Moreno himself. In the chapter 6 of his autobiography of a genius, which was on post-war Vienna, Diamond and Die Stegreiftheater, he says at the beginning of this chapter, while I was still stationed at Mitterndorf, I spent much of my free time in Vienna at the Café Museum and the Café Herrenhof. The cafés were gathering places for intellectuals and artists of every description. Each café had a slightly different clientele. At first, I knew few of the people at the Café Museum, but I soon became acquainted with some. Acquaintance grew into friendship, and some of us became co-workers. There was a table reserved for our circle at the Café Museum. I don't know if it was this one.
The table is now the kitchen.
The table.
It's a Gibson room, and now there was no kitchen at that time. Only like here, coffee and
so it was really a reserved space.
It's a kitchen.
Is the
this
kitchen
was the room where Moreno had reserved Saturday for him weekend to meet his artists and actors. And
this is Michael Wieser, by the way, and this was the usual practice at most cafes, and there were other coteries who met at the museum. We usually met once a week, but spontaneous get-togethers were not uncommon between the weekly meetings. On the whole, the cafés catered to masculine society. What about that?
What about that? Yes, there were women, but they were part of the picture.
So women were not used to come? That was the problem? Or what?
No,
they have their salons.
The Bohemian women, they were women, but they were not. The men were not serious about. Some of them were artists, but it was not interesting that they are artists. It was just interesting that they are women.
So they usually didn't come to this cafe, for instance.
Yes, the artist women.
Artist women,
came,
yes,
but not. It's also a class problem. There are no poor people, not people of some specific areas. There were Bohemian or people who could pay the coffee.
So now there is one more woman coming. I was reading one part, a fragment of Moreno's presence here in the Café Museum, and he wrote, on the whole, the cafés catered to masculine society.
Masculine society.
Masculine society. And Ricky was telling something about that. How do you feel about that? Now that you are here with a masculine presence, and you are not only a woman, you are at the Moreno Museum Association. You are now an important member, right?
Treasurer.
The treasurer.
I think that I could remember that Moreno loved women very much. So I think that Moreno could appreciate that an association have many women, an association to concretize his dreams, his come si dice eredità, his heritage. And so I love to imagine that also Zerka could be with us. She was a co-founder of this association. So I would like to imagine that Zerka could help us, because she was a pragmatic woman, and so I think that in a similar situation, in a similar meeting, Moreno and Zerka could be in a good feeling with us.
Okay, good.